that weight that has been put upon the mayor and councillors of the city of Georgetown. I want to refer to one or two of the whereas clause in this motion before us. And the fourth whereas clause reads, whereas beyond this, Ms. Carol Sober has proved that she is inept and not capable of executing the duties as Chief Executive Officer. And the fifth goes on to say, by way of example, Ms. Sober has on more than one occasion refused even to summon meetings of staff to discuss council's related matters. Today, she has refused to open the council chambers, and note that the council chambers, it belongs to the main councillors of the city of Georgetown. She has caused our officers to lock us out, but that will not prevent us from dealing with important business of this council, and of course apprising the citizens of Georgetown who elected us to serve from carrying out our duties. I want to state that in the previous motion, I made reference to an occurrence where Ms. Sober, then employed by this mayor and city council to examine and deal with legal matters, where she was employed to examine and deal with legal matters brought before her, complained bitterly of her inability to execute her stated duties, of which she had signed on. This council bent backwards and provided competent secretaries to assist Ms. Sober in the execution of her duties, for which she was adequately paid. Ms. Carol Sober continued to falter in that execution, blaming the qualified staff assigned to her. This council finally agreed to allow Ms. Sober to select or elect, which one you choose, someone of her choice. Ms. Sober's choice was a male attached to Mr. Ramcharan's office, the first male in the lineup of officers that were assigned to her. This council interviewed and appointed that male. The council expected production from Ms. Carol Sober. Instead, that gentleman was used as Ms. Sober's messenger and errand man. When he objected, she threatened to have him knocked off. I quote from a document submitted by that employee to the officer then carrying out the duties of town clerk on the 19th of January 2011. And that document was carbon copied to the mayor, the deputy mayor, members of the Personnel and Training Committee, members of that Personnel and Training Committee, and members of the Finance Committee. I quote from that document. Madam, instead of council's work, and this was addressed to the town clerk, as I said, January 2011. Madam, instead of council's work, Ms. Sober, who is a justice of the peace, gives me her personal work to do. She asked me to check out different things so that she can work for her clients. When I am not doing that, she sends me to pay for bills at GPL and other places, or to buy items for her. Madam, I know there's a lot of work I can do for this organization. Town clerk, in addition to not giving me work to do, Ms. Sober speaks to me sometimes in a disrespectful manner and very loudly. I'm a big man, and I hate the disrespect. I believe Ms. Sober's reaction is because she feels I am not loyal to her. When I started on the job, she told me I must have nothing to do with the staff of the personnel section. She said she gave me the work, and if I can't obey her, she will cause me to lose the work. So, Carol Sober was the boss. Town clerk, I don't know what is wrong with Miss Sober. She warned me about the councillors and said she only trusts councillors Ross and Das because the other councillors don't like her. And that is why she writes directly to Minister Lal, because she gets no justice from council. I am forced to listen to her saying all things about councillors and officers, just to prove I am loyal to her. She claims that there is a big fraud at council, and the deputy mayor is a part of it. According to her, he is HIV positive, and he had affairs with most of the girls in council and even a few councillors. She said she can contact the president at any time and get officers and councillors into trouble, and that she was promised the town clerk job. You note the year and the month when Miss Sober was reciting this to an employee. She was promised the town clerk job and knows she will get it. And she is always saying that the government given her a gun and she will use it. Madam, sometimes I don't know how to react. Madam, Miss Sober's treatment of me started getting worse from the late November 2010, after an incident in the office. An elderly Indian man came to the office to query a matter and got into a heated argument with her. She rushed up to the man, pointing her hand in his face, and even said she would have shot him. A constable intervened in the matter and settled it. Miss Sober reported to the constabulary that the man assaulted her in the presence of him, and the constable took no action. I was called to give a statement at the constabulary, and I told the truth that Miss Sober was not assaulted by that man. I could not lie. Other members of staff were there and saw what happened. She was greatly offended by my statement and said the chief constable said he could not charge the man because my statement did not support what she said. Let me move down to the latter part of this document. She went on to say that she gave me the job and she will ensure that I lose it. When I returned to the office, she continued to make all sorts of remarks and told me to my face that elections is coming and the black people will eat shit. Madam, I had to stop myself from answering her. Documented. I want you to take note. That is the woman that this government, this council. I therefore support the two resolve clause in this motion. The first resolve clause says, be it resolved that this council hereby removes Ms. Sober from the office of town clerk, who was illegally appointed by the Minister of Local Government and Regional Development as town clerk of the city of Georgetown. And the last resolve clause says that the council returns to its decision of March the 3rd, 2011 to put a suitable qualified officer of the council to perform the duties of the town clerk until the establishment of the local government commission, which was appointed by Parliament and signed by the President of Guyana. Your worship and councillors, I so move that this motion before us be put into effect at this meeting of the mayor and councillors of the city of Georgetown.
Here, 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 here. Here, 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 here. Here, here.
Bring to mind that Honorable Madam, as I choose to call her, because I'm not sure if she's court system, has been neglectful in her duties and powers, duties, and responsibilities of certain officers bestowed upon the clerk of the city of Georgetown. And it quite clearly says she's responsible for convening meetings of the council and its committees to ensure that those that the work of the council is done. If a decision is made by the council and she so advises the council and council does not take her advice, then it shall be so recorded. It goes on to say that she should also be the person responsible for ensuring the business of the council is carried out with order, regularity, and expedition in accordance with the bylaws, resolution, and standing orders of the council. Over the period of nearly 2 years, Sula has sat in the office, seriously violated her duties as of a matter that was brought by Councillor Jordan. And the Honourable Minister Whittaker, I have it here, would have written to the then town clerk, employee of City of Georgetown, as alleged misappropriation by the Honourable October 2011. To date, the Minister an invoice for a lawyer signed, received by the Honourable Madam. Now this is a conflict of interest. She signs checks and she's receiving checks on behalf of other people. This is, I have it here in evidence. We have found ourselves over a period in time in difficult positions where the council makes its decision and expects it to be executed. She has failed to do so. You would have been given one incident of racism, but there are others. On her admission to office, she immediately sent home the then driver of Negro descent and replaced him with one of Indian descent. The secretary, duly qualified, was also sent home and replaced with one of Indian descent. When she was told for the hiring of the secretary to have to apply, come through the Personnel and Training Committee and to the Council for its final approval, she refused. She went straight to the Minister of Local Government, who by order directed that this council must employ this individual. The council ignored all that, employed the individual. The individual is still there. The right is still there. These are evidence that we have. When 3 Indian guys were charged for littering, she pinpointed those out of the set that they were being racially profiled. Untrue. Of which she's a stranger to. We must understand that. And took that to the minister, took that to the president. The minister asked her in my presence in the base president. I apologize. She has refused to do that. So we are dealing with someone who is bigger than the president of this country. We are dealing with one who has no respect or regards for authority. If that person had regards for authority, they would have ensured that the council chambers that the duly elected councillors shall sit in should have been open this afternoon. She locked every single room. And God help her. telephone operator, she's locked in there with no AC, no fan or anything, we might very well have to call the ambulance. So there was no way you could have got it. We decided we will hold this meeting out here this afternoon. What has caused all of this confusion? What has caused this ministry to go on this defense? A ruling by the Chief Justice. A ruling by the Chief Justice on a matter that was not brought by the council. This was an applicant, and I refuse to refer to him as the public relations officer of the Mayor Council of the City of Georgetown. He applied for a job as store clerk. An applicant, one of the four. They were all interviewed. Panel found favor with a particular gentleman. That person was not given the okay by the minister, but the one least qualified was given the okay. The applicant felt dissatisfied and went to the courts. Courts has ruled the minister was wrong in appointing. The council, I want you all to be aware of this, the council to date, at this motion now, with the pass of this motion, is now going to take action. But the council has never ever filed any single thing on the matters that the minister is up in defense of. All arms. You have all ministers coming in defense of this matter, and the council has not taken action. When the matter was read and the ruling was read by the Chief Justice, the council in its wisdom says, look, this madam is entitled to some leave because since 2012 she has taken no vocational leave. Because one of the important duties of the officer is that he should have the responsibility of the general correspondence of the council. Now here is, I'm giving you the scenario, here is this madam sitting here. The council objects to you sitting here. The council wants to move forward to ensure that your implantation here was right or wrong by the Ministry of Local Government. You are the person who have to interact legally to give information to and from. Now, if you decide upon yourself you're not going to give the right type of information, it will be a project in futility that we will follow. Because you would protect yourself. Anyone would. So to remove the stumbling block, so the ruling could go forward and the decisions could be made quite properly, is that the person proceeded with any ordinary circumstances. We were asked. We have asked, the minister has asked officers that would have committed a less offense to proceed on their leave to deal with the matters. In this case, no. This honorable madam is untouchable for whatever reason, or whatever secrets she may hold. I don't know. But I'm saying this council has reached the peak where we cannot tolerate all these inaccuracies that is going on by this council, who thinks that she's the alpha and the omega of this council. She decides, and the minister, most is interesting, when we summoned the meeting on Friday, most obviously was informed, and he had this temerity and the audacity to write to the mayor and to advise the mayor that we should not proceed with this meeting and that we should wait until the next statutory meeting. Now we all know why the last statutory meeting was aborted. Because she thinks she is the know-it-all. She has to say prayers. And so because she was not allowed to say prayers, the meeting was aborted. What is so different to the next statutory meeting? Because she will not be asked to say prayers again. The council, according to chapter 2801 of the order of business of the day, does not have prayers in the national church. The prayers are set as formality because we ask for the intervention of a spiritual being for guidance. And the national pledge is because we are patriotic and we want to say the national pledge. So it's not a part of the order of the day. So she has no right. If you say customer practice, but she has broken every single customer practice this council has carried out. Every single one. When we come to the contractors, she has removed a particular contractor and has always, and in every single instance, finds it possible to to employ, with or without the permission of this council, another contractor who is of the same ethnicity as herself. And we find it strange. We find it very strange. For whatever reason, she's going down this road of race. I can say quite clearly, I can't decide on which race I go because I'm mixed. So I couldn't say it's because I'm Afro-Guyanese, I am dissatisfied. I couldn't say because I'm Indo-Guyanese, I am pleased or I am dissatisfied. I am dissatisfied as a councillor because she has not carried out the decisions of the council. And that is a great concern. Her responsibility is to say to the officers the decisions of council and have them carried out. She has taken on the role to ensure that every single officer does what is not necessary. She even wants to take away their job. You cannot call the solid waste look around this compound. For nearly 2 years, as the officer in charge of this council and of this city who wants to do whatever he or she pleases, cannot get this council yard, this surrounding that she dwells in every day in a standard, proper way for anyone. On many occasions, she herself has to come downstairs and make order downstairs because the Treasury Department has a long line. After nearly 2 years of her management, she still cannot rectify the faults that are downstairs in the Treasury Department as part of the Commission of Inquiry headed by Mr. Keith Bowden. It is unfair that the citizens of Georgetown have to go through all of this stress. The minister says that we must deal with the matters of core business in the city. How could we deal with it if the person who is at the head of it has no vision? The person has no vision. You want to ensure that the city of Georgetown is clean. She is ensuring that it is not clean because she has removed the contractor. You have the two compactor trucks work today, it's off tomorrow. The tractor is loaned from the engineer's department. So when it's loaned from the engineer's department to the solid waste department, there's no work being done in the engineer's department. You have all the drains around here. She couldn't even get officers to ensure that the drainage around this city hall is proper. Go around, just take a look in Charlotte Street. Just step in Charlotte Street with the camera. Or step right in Regent Street with the cameras and see what is happening. So, after 2 years, nearly 2 years, we are fed up. We are fed up. And so we are now taking action to have her removed. We have never done so. The minister has sent many orders forcing us to employ, to appoint, and to do all that he wants to do. The minister, when the law does not even the law is quite clear. Whoever crafted the law was quite clear where the minister should be in the absence of any local government. And it's not by fault they're not signing the local government. It would take away the responsibility, and they want Georgetown, they want this beautiful city, they want to destroy it. They're not making any efforts to do anything good. They appoint $500,000 to clean them Georgetown. And then all this says nation. This money will not be given to the city government. It will be given to the Ministry of Local Government, Ministry of Works, Environmental Health, all those agencies that will spend it. And we will be consulted on a minor scale. So based on that, we are saying that we need to ensure that proper management of the city, or whoever is managing this, must be able to have that vision to ensure that what the council is duly elected. Over the period, there were 6 black contractors that were employed by the previous town clerk, and the law says anything that one town clerk do is going down to the other. No one can say I'm not doing what the previous town clerk did. Same as the engineer. She has refused. The minister has exhausted all and says, look, the council come to a compromise and let these people be paid. To date, she has not paid them, but she still went into the to get $500,000 to pay for a matter that is private. That is a private matter because no writ was served or at the time. That's a private matter. But she continues to bully her way. And what is happening now is the minister wants to bully his way. The minister wants to bully his way to say to this council that we must not hold a meeting when we want to hold it. Now, how dare the minister? I can't tell the minister when to hold a local government meeting. I can't tell the minister don't go to cabinet on Tuesdays. I can't tell the minister we were duly elected just like him. If they must carry on the business of the city, of the country, we must be able to carry on our business of the city. There is so much that if we continue to tell you about the faults of this honorable man, that the minister has continued to hold on to and to ensure that she stays there for whatever purpose and reason is unbelievable. It's time we speak up and for our presence here and our determination here as duly elected councillors to ensure that the business of this council, we are here in the sun, enjoying the beautiful sunshine, enjoying the atmosphere of City Hall. And we hope that in their wisdom, they do not allow this beautiful building to fall apart. We hope, because sooner or later, no one will be able to go upstairs. Just go to the northern side, the southern side of that building and look at it. And look at the engineers department, and look at the northern side of it. And this is somewhere that someone wants to sit in authority and tell you you can't keep meetings when you want to. Duly elected. It is not our fault we are still here after 1994. I say bring the government elections now. Bring it now, we're ready for it. Let the chips fall where it may. Whoever wins, win. If you think you have the authority over the city, well then let the voters say so. We will quite calmly step away. But we were duly elected and we will not, regardless of how much pressure we have, if we have to keep our meetings in this compound every single day, they could bring the national police. We are not offending nobody. We are doing what is duly constituted to us, to hold our meetings as duly constituted twice a month and to hold next extraordinary meetings and committee meetings. My friends, I leave a lot for you to think about, a lot for you who would have voted. Maybe some of you here were not old enough to vote in 1994 for this duly elected council. But you are here now, and as you are preparing, and as the country is preparing for the local government election, you must be able to determine if you want to be led by a dictatorship or you want to be a part of a society where you are able to make your decisions when called upon to make decisions and not being dictated like Hitler, female Hitler now, coming on this floor. And thank you, and God bless us all and give us the strength to carry on in our
Council, before I ask to stop the move, if you wish to wind up, allow me to vote with everyone contributed. And I know my place in this business. There's nothing much I can add. That has already been so eloquently pointed out by Deputy Mayor, Mr. Jordan, Fraser, just to say that my task before asking if you wish to wind up is to put what you heard this afternoon in its context. First, we have, with the concurrence of the majority council, prepared a dossier on the machinations, the adequacies, and the folly of this lady who is the purported Trump acting. And we have already begun circulation to the diplomatic community, and we're doing so to the media and those citizens concerned. The other thing is that, as we put it in context, we will, from this week, be also briefing the political parties so that they'll